let's say a check-in. Now, what is a check-in? Typically, check-in is, while we travel, let's say I'm flying from Mumbai to Delhi. What I would do is I would typically check in and then I would, prepare for my journey basically. So let's check into this session. What do I mean by check in is for a couple of minutes, I want you to leave everything aside. If you're walking, if you're doing something, if you're writing, if you are, chances are that, at times what we do is we put on some webinar and then we are continuing our work. So my only request is for next couple of minutes, okay, leave everything aside. Take a seat, relax, and spend those few minutes for yourself while we check into the session. Yeah, it's like a mental journey, our inner journey, which will help us prepare, take the most of this session. Yeah, so very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Little time for your own self. Away from everything outside. Your own time. Let the chair take your weight, and your body is very, very relaxed. Feel that you have a paint brush and a canvas with you. In that canvas, you see yourself and a paintbrush with white shining light. Imagine that you paint yourself with that white shining light from your head to your toe. Experience that feeling of lightness starting from your head, your face, your neck, chest, stomach, thighs, knees and toe. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. You are ready for a wonderful inner journey on mindfulness for next 1 hour. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Continue to be with yourself. Continue to be with your breath. Very, very relaxed. So with that little check-in exercise that we did for ourselves to help us prepare well for the session. Yeah, so I hope this little exercise that we did helped you relax yourself a bit. You can do this any time of the day. Yeah, you can just sit with yourself, paint yourself with white light, and feel that any kind of heaviness, any kind of that not so comfortable feeling is slowly fading away. This is how you can actually kind of help yourself relax. With that, let's start with our session for the day. We are ready for our journey. What I want you to do is for next couple of seconds. You will see the slide on the screen. You have just 5 seconds for this. You have to read and make sense out of it. Yeah. And so I'll stop sharing the screen. Okay, wonderful. So, how many of us, you could reply to me? By the way, the session is going to be very, very interactive. It's not going to be a monologue where I will be speaking and a couple of you who would be trying to attend the session would doze off thinking about meditation and mindfulness, and some of us would continue with our work. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be very, very interactive. And let me tell you, the value of this session does not come from me. Okay, value of this session comes from the involvement and interaction that all of us have here in the session. So I want you to tell me, think and tell me, the screen that you saw just couple of seconds back, how difficult or how easy was it for you to read that slide compared to what you read every day? You can reply to me on the chat box. You can write your responses in the chat box. How easy or how difficult was it for you to read what was written on the screen? Some quick responses on the chat box. Wonderful. It was easy to read. That's great, Gayatri. Moderate. Okay. Easy. What we read every day, was it compared to that? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Think about it. Difficult, okay. Some of us say moderate, some of us say difficult. Just needed few glances. Okay, you need a little more attention. A bit difficult, not so easy to read. It is not in lines with what we do. Moderate, difficult, difficult. Okay, wonderful. So we have mixed responses. The next question that I have for all of you is, okay, difficult as there were no pauses. That exactly was my next question. And thank you so much for answering my question. I think you know some future predictions and all. So wonderful. Thank you for that response. My next question definitely was, what made it a little more difficult for us to read than what we read every day? So one is pauses. What else? What else do you think? Jumbled words. That's right, Jay. Yes, the words were jumbled. There were no pauses. What else? No spaces. Okay. Any other responses? Any thoughts, anyone? No spaces, jumbled words, no pauses. That's absolutely right. Words were not in correct manner. Yeah, that's right. White spaces, usage and syntax. Okay, that's quite high end, but that's okay. What we will do is no punctuations mark. Yes, absolutely right. There were no commas, there were no full stops. So all of that was missing. Wonderful. And the time given was a little less, though it was jumbled and I gave you only 5 seconds to read. So, all my fault. No problem. I'll correct my mistake this time. What I will do is I'll share the correct slide with you now. And what we will do is next 5 seconds, you have to read this slide and tell me how was the experience. All right. So, I'll stop sharing now. Here we go. So, of course, the fact being there were spaces, there were pauses. Perfect now. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Easy to read. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all those responses. It's great. Any other thoughts that come to your mind? So the next question that I have for all of you is, throughout the day, okay, just imagine and just observe, take a couple of seconds and reflect on the state of mind that we have. Is it like slide one where there are so many thoughts coming in together? No pauses. What do I mean by pauses? Spaces. Let's say, we psychologists say we have almost 45,000 to 65,000. The number varies. Different researches sometimes, a little bit number differs. So let's say on an average we have one thought every second. Okay, so there are thoughts after thoughts. Okay, now what then happens is, it, there are no full stops. If you're thinking about something, why did they say like this to me? Why did this happen to me? If we're thinking about it, we'll constantly think about it. There's no full stop. There are no commas. There is no spaces. Okay, and another way of living, or another way of experiencing life, is by having those right spaces, right full stop, right comma. How does it help? Any thoughts on how does it help? So slide 1 and slide 2, having the right spaces, full stop, comma, all this, how does it help you? Any thoughts on that? One is it made it easier for you to read. Anything else? Clarity. Wonderful, Jay. That's right. Yes. So one is easy to read, clarity, clear. Yes. Easy to make sense out of it, right? We don't have to think. We're not assuming. We're not guessing what is written. Understanding. That's right, Hari. That is what I was coming to. So less clutter, understanding. So when I talk about our own state of mind, okay, this is what exactly mindfulness does to our state of mind. What it does is it helps us bring those right spaces, not thinking about something, overthinking about something. Why did they say yesterday, they said this day a month back they had spoken like this. Full stop. If I'm doing something, let's say I'm writing an email, or I've created some content, I've written an article, or something on mindfulness, or mental health and all of that. When I'm doing that, instead of thinking about, I don't know if the people will like it, I don't know if there'll be so many corrections in what I have created, thinking about all of that, it's like not having the spaces to look at life in the way life actually is. We start assuming, they said like this, the reason could be whatever, and then we can keep on imagining and creating our own understanding about things. Yeah, so mindfulness exactly helps us, experience life like slide 2. What is slide 2? Looking at life the way it is, understanding life in a very easy and uh, in a real sense, not getting entangled in our thoughts and our assumptions, like assuming what are those words. We're not assuming, we're looking at life the way it is. That is what mindfulness actually does to us. Yeah, think about it. How could our life change when we use this technique of mindfulness? How could your life change? Just think about it, relate it back to your life. Moving on to the next bit, this is what mindfulness does to us, but definitely in this 1 hour, we don't want to talk about benefits or, what mindfulness could do to you, but we definitely want to talk about how do you practice mindfulness in your everyday life. Yeah, that is what I am here for. So the next thing that I have for you is, what do we do when we practice mindfulness? Is very simple. Okay, and I want you to do it along with me right now. Yeah, for next couple of seconds. We'll not do 1 hour meditation, we will not do half an hour meditation. No, just next couple of seconds. I want you to be just with me here in this session. Yeah, very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Let's do this little exercise. Once again, let the chair take your weight. And your body is very, very relaxed. Just feel that every beat of these instruments is bringing you in this present moment. Just be there for a couple of more seconds in the here and the now. This exercise that we did is just the starting bit. Yeah, this is just the starting of what mindfulness could be. I want you to think about, reflect about what did you do? Not much effort, not too much hard work, just bringing your attention to where life is happening. You know, psychologists say that 99% of those thoughts that we keep thinking throughout the day, which is every second one thought, 99% of those thoughts are either repetitive thoughts, we keep thinking about same thing, same kind of thoughts. Okay, so we call it as thought patterns. We all of us have developed certain thought patterns. We would be thinking about similar things, over a period of time. So let's say whatever I was thinking about today throughout the day, what I was thinking yesterday could be very similar, either emotion or person or situation. Even day before yesterday, I would have been thinking about something very similar. That's called thought patterns that we've developed. When we bring our attention to this moment, like we just did right now, what it does is it helps us create new thought patterns. Okay, it helps us break those thoughts pattern. We'd be not working on those thought patterns. What we are doing is we are creating these beautiful new thought patterns, pattern which helps you experience life the way you want to experience life. Like I said, 98 or 99% of those thoughts that we keep thinking throughout the day are repetitive or waste. Yeah, so I keep thinking about same thing, either about past, it could be about a day back, a week back, a month back, a year back, or even 10 years back. We are all expert in that. Yeah, so we can even think about something that happened 10 years back and get upset about it. If that person comes in front of us, we could again create all those emotions that happened at that, at that point in time, in that situation. We can keep thinking about it. Yeah, or thinking about future. So they say if you experience a lot of sadness in life, chances are that you live in past. If you kind of experience a lot of anxiety in life, you are living life in future. What will happen? Will this happen? Will this not happen? Living in future. And in both of these situations, I can never feel comfortable and at ease. Yeah, why does that happen? Yes, Shravani, we have a question. Just park that question for a couple of more minutes. We will take up questions towards maybe the end of the session. So definitely questions are welcomed, but towards the end we'll take up some of the questions as per time that we will have. Coming back to past and future, why is it that we are not comfortable in past and future? Because that's not where life is happening, and you can't do anything about it. Yeah, you can't do anything about both of these situations. It's like, if I right now I just stand up and I start pushing the wall behind, I'll continuously start pushing the wall. I'll do that for next half an hour that we have for this session. I'll keep pushing the wall, expecting that the ball will move an inch ahead. What will all of you say? Something wrong with HR, or something wrong with the organizing team, whom have they got? She's not okay. Yeah, these would be the kind of thoughts you will have in your mind, and you'll say, okay, let's log off, it's not worth it. Yeah, so you'll start thinking about all of that. Why? Because I'm doing something which is not possible. Now ask yourself, do you do that in your life? Past, why did this happen? When we ask ourselves, why did this happen, are we trying to say that this shouldn't have happened and we want it to be differently? If yes, is it going to change? One question again that I have for all of you is, every time that you visit the past, some situation which has not been very comfortable, every time you visit the past, it could be even today morning, okay, something that somebody very close to you said today in the morning while you were leaving for office, and you didn't like the way they spoke to you. Even thinking about it and thinking, why did they say this? Every time that you visit past, the question that I have for you is, every time that you visit the past, do you have any new experience? Really? And if no, is it worth visiting the past again and again? Yeah, so that's one question that I have for you. Talking about future, like I said, when we are experiencing too much of anxiety, fear, chances are that we are living more in future. Okay, does that mean that we don't plan for our future? Does that mean we don't think about what we want to know? Do definitely no. Okay, like for example, let's say after this session, I have to go and I have to cook meal for myself. Let's say I have to prepare some food. Uh, Planning for my future would be I need ingredient A, B, and C. Okay, and then all my energy goes into executing that plan. Yeah, that's planning, but living in the moment, living where life is happening. Living in future means I don't know if they will like the food. What if the quantity of salt is not right? What if they respond in the same way they did last time? So what if that's not really planning for life or for anything for future. It's just about living your life in future which you don't even know how it will turn out to be. Yeah, so how does mindfulness help us create those right spaces in our thought processes? How does it help us bring that full stop in our thought process? Very simple. Yeah, how? By living life where it is happening. Okay, life is happening here. Wait, just give me a couple of seconds. Let's see where life is happening, and I want you to experience it that way. Okay, so life is happening here, in this moment, here, in this moment, in this moment. This every moment that's going, that's where our life is actually happening. Now, the next question that I have for all of you is ask yourself, how much time do you really spend, you know, where life is actually happening? How much time do you spend there? And think about it. If you'd like to share in the chat box, you can definitely do that. I've seen all of you very, very enthusiastic in sharing and discussing in the chat box. How much time do you think you live life where it is happening? 10%, 50%, 80%? How much time of your life? 100%, Ram says 100%, 5%, Shravani says, okay, 10 to 20%. So don't worry, there are no right or wrong answers because it's about you, it's about your life experiences, and every life experience is so much valuable that it cannot be incorrect, right? So every answer is right. What we are only doing through this session is we're trying to see how do we actually, enhance our experience of life. So don't worry, just reflect upon it. Where is it that I am right now, and how do we bring my life experience to the next level? So let's say if Ritu says, today I live my life in the present where life is happening 10%. I keep thinking about past or future. I keep getting worried or I keep experiencing sadness. Okay, let's say Ritu lives in present moment for 10% of the day only. Yeah. Um, Tomorrow, when I wake up, can I decide, can I choose to live life where it is happening 20% instead of 10%? Can I do it 30%? Can I do it 40%? Yeah. And the only effort that you have to make is consciously, deliberately, purposefully get your attention to where life is happening. Yeah. Now you'll say, okay, nobody wants to live life in future and past. It's the thought patterns that we've created. That's exactly where mindfulness works. What happens is when you bring your attention in here and now, okay, this is like creating a new thought pattern. Every time you bring your attention to present moment, you're creating a new pattern of living life where it is happening. You practice it for a couple of days. Okay, you practice it for 7 days, you practice it for 21 days. You will see. Now see, our life, let's say 60, 65 years, 70 years, whatever our life could be, okay, whatever years we would be living on an average, let's say 70. Okay, if my life is for 70 years, 21 days, 3 months out of that, 7 days, let's start with 7 days, not even 21 days, 21 days effort to improve the experience that I have in 70 years. Is it too much to ask from our own selves for our own selves? Yeah, the only, you know, effort, conscious, deliberate effort that we have to make is, as soon as you observe your thoughts getting jumbled up like the first screen that you saw, bring yourself back. Bring yourself back. Let's say if I'm having a sip of water, can I enjoy it? Can I enjoy the taste of water? And I will say, water, does it have taste? It definitely does. Have you taken time to taste it? If you're having, you're having your meal, let's say you take that one bite, can I just experience it fully? When I'm with someone, let's say my team member, or I'm with my family, they're saying something, can I be there 100%? Ultimately, see, relationships is all about connect. Yeah. And today, connection of the mind, right? It's not about where we are, it's about how our mind is connected to other people. Yeah. And let's say if I am with them, I'm spending like good 8-10 hours with my colleagues, 3-4 hours with my family, or whatever time you could be spending. But imagine if the quality of that time is such that you're able to give your attention to them. When you're with your family, you're not worried about what will happen tomorrow in the office. You're just there, right? You are there. Can you give your 100%? While you are with your office, colleagues, while you're with your team, just giving them your 100%. How can I do that? Simply by bringing my attention to life, to where life is happening. The next question that I have for all of you is, so it looks like like let's say an exam paper or something with so many questions, but don't worry. I'm doing this because, the moment we ask questions, we start referring to our life's experiences and our subconscious gets activated like that. If you only listen, what will happen is conscious mind is active, but subconscious is not so active. Yeah. So the moment I start asking questions, you will start reflecting, you will go back to your life experiences and your subconscious is active. Yeah. So the next question I have for you is, let's say if you have to define a beautiful life, what is a beautiful life for you? Think about it. You could share with me on the chat box, or you could just reflect on that. Yeah. What is a beautiful life? While you are thinking, while you are reflecting, okay, I'll share my response on this. Wonderful. We have some responses. Enjoying the moment. Wonderful. 100% peace of mind. A life where we do what we want to do at all points in time. Okay, that's a complete different set of discussion we can definitely have at some point in time, which is a good thought. Definitely, I would say. But sometimes there are situations where you may or may not be able to do. So then how do you still enjoy life? Is your happiness and your peace dependent on, life giving you situations which you want in your life, or does it give you different situation and you're still able to enjoy? Yeah, so that definitely is a great thought, but we will park it for some other time. Living in the now, happy life, calmness. Yes, it's quite close to, what all of you have responded is very, very close to what I would want to share with you. A beautiful life. Okay? Beautiful life basically is collection of beautiful moments, right? So this one moment, can I be happy? Can I be peaceful? The next moment, can I be calm? Can I be relaxed? The next moment, I'm writing an email. Can I continue to write that email not thinking about so many other things? Just in that moment, can I enjoy life every moment? And collection of these moments. Okay, one moment, one moment, one moment. Am I able to live life? Mindfulness is not a sannyasi kind of jivan where you are not, it's not like leaving things. It's like living life fully. It's not like leaving life, like they say, it's like living life fully. You live life so intensely. You live life so beautifully because you are living where life is happening. So collection of these moments, one moment happy moment, another moment happy moment, another moment happy moment, collection of these moments ultimately becomes a good life, isn't it? And we've been thinking so much about life, saying that we want to have happy life, we want to have peaceful life. It's there. It's there with you. It's just about reaching out, that little effort, this moment. And one thing which helps you experience life in a very beautiful way, one little practice that you can do is, see, when we are thinking too much, like let's say if I'm driving at 120 kilometers per hour and I have to take a left, it's like the speed of the thoughts, okay? And we want to kind of channelize our thought process. What do? When we drive, we slow down our vehicle. Yeah, we slow down our vehicle and then we take a left or a right. So, exactly that way. Okay, the moment you bring your attention to this present moment, it's like slowing down the speed of your thoughts and then channelizing your thoughts. How do we do that? I want you to once again, just be here with me completely and fully and create this one thought that I am giving to you. Okay, let's start once again. Little time for your own self. For a couple of seconds, tell yourself that you will think neither about the past nor about the future. Just bring your attention to this present moment. Now let us all create one thought. I am a peaceful being. Experience this peace very, very deeply and intensely. I am a peaceful being. That is it. That remains. Let's come back very, very relaxed, very comfortable. So we got our attention to present moment. Little exercise. Once again, you can do it any time of the day. Yeah, you can do it, especially you can do it when you wake up in the morning before you go to bed. Bring your attention to this present moment. Yeah, and then channelize your thought process by creating the right thought. See, anyways, when we are doing a lot of things around while we are working, there are so many thoughts that anyways go, right? I mean, that you're thinking, okay? So might as well create a thought which makes you feel comfortable, at ease, helps you life experience the way you want it to be, right? So then one thought, I'm relaxed, I'm peaceful, I'm comfortable, I'm powerful. Any situation that you face in life, you could actually think, I don't know what will happen, or you could think, whatever happens, I have the power. It's just about that thought. Yeah. So creating the right thought and experiencing it very, very deeply is the most powerful way to program your subconscious for that feeling or that experience. Creating that thought and experiencing it very deeply. Yeah, so the first thing that we discussed today is bringing your attention to present moment. Once we're able to do that, living life where it is happening, okay, that's the first step that we are talking about, and experiencing life very, very intensely, whatever you're doing. It's not about what you're doing, it's about how you're experiencing life while you're doing it. whatever you could be doing. You could be doing something that you like, something that you don't like. Can you still be happy and say, okay, this moment I'm doing this, I'm happy. Okay, I'm peaceful. Creating that thought. Our feelings are not dependent on situation. We have 15 minutes left. I'll quickly share one slide with all of you, not getting too much in detail on that bit. So, there is a situation and our experiences of life. Okay, we think situations determine the experiences of our life. Sometimes we feel like that. Okay, so let's say if the situation is not right, my experience could also, be not so great. But you may have come across a situation where you have had a argument with your spouse or your team member or your boss, or some difference of opinion that you may have had, but you kept your state of mind very, very calm and you handle that situation well. Yeah, chances are that your experience of life and the way situation turned out to be could have been much better because your state of mind was okay. Yeah, so one is situation, second is your experience of life. The point which determines how you experience life is not the situation. The power of the point of power is where you choose to focus your attention on, your awareness. How do you experience life at that point in time? Just think about it in a little more detail. Okay, this is something which I leave for all of you to kind of ponder a little more, think about a little more. You have both the experiences. Yeah, all of us have both of these experiences. Situation not so great, you reacted in a very harsh way. Situation ended up being even worse. You managed a situation well, the experience of that situation turned out to be better. The situation itself turned out to be better than it could have been. Yeah, so it's not the situation that determines our experience, it's our awareness, the way we live our life. If I live my life creating a thought that I'm powerful, I'm peaceful, I'm okay, I'm stable, I'm comfortable, I'm busy, no, I'm okay, I'm stressed, I'm calm. There is chaos outside, there's calmness inside. Yeah, so creating that kind of awareness is the choice that all of us have. The point of power lies in how I create that state of mind. Is it easy? Yes and no, both. Yes, if you practice over a period of time, it becomes easy. Yeah, so that's how it becomes easy. If I'm not practicing, it takes time initially. Yeah, anything new that you learn takes time initially, but once you've learned it, I recently started learning, Adobe softwares. I mean, I have been a trainer for all my life, and suddenly I started learning something new, which is more technical. Yeah. So all video, Photoshop editing. Initially, I found it so difficult because I thought, it looks so complicated. Today, I can just create. Yeah. How? Practice. Knowledge, practice. Today what we've done is we've got little more knowledge about mindfulness. Definitely what is required from now will be that little practice from your end for a couple of days, for a couple of months. It'll definitely be easy. Yeah, so before we move on to our last meditation experience, okay, which is the final meditation experience, let's take maybe 7 to 8 minutes time for Q&A. I see there are some questions that have come up. Okay, so let's take some of the questions before we move on to our final meditation experience for the day. Great. So one question is, I understood difference between thinking of future and living in future, but can you explain difference between thinking of past and living in past? Okay. See, the experience that you have when you live in future is fear. The experience that you have when you live in the past is sadness. So when I say don't live in the past, what we do is, see, we definitely reflect upon how life is, and what situation was, and what learnings could I have had from that situation. That's something that all of us would like to do, right? But what happens is, the moment we think about the past, we start getting entangled in the emotions of the past. Yeah. So what we need to do is just detach, in the sense, just become like an observer, look at that situation and ask yourself, how could I have responded better in that situation? What could I have done in that situation to make it better? That's the only thing in my control. So when I live in the past, I get entangled in the emotions of the past. I'm experiencing those emotions again and again. That's living in the past. But being in the here and the now, looking at that situation and asking yourself, what could I have done, is picking up, learning, moving on, applying that learning today. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. As we need to ponder about, the next question is, as we need to ponder about the past, so can we learn from any mistake? Amazing. So that's exactly what I answered. You definitely learn from the past. It's not like you start from zero today. We pick up learnings from all that life has given to us, but we'll be able to pick up those learnings only when I'm not entangled in those emotions. That's very, very important. If I'm entangled and, completely absorbed in those emotions, then I can never pick up learning. I'll only keep, creating those emotions, which will not help, which will not even help you pick up right learnings from that situation. Right learnings, look at it, ask yourself, what could I have done? Yeah, I hope that answers the second question. Also, some unexpected things happened and it was sad moment. How can we come out of that shock? Can we enjoy life at that time? Wonderful. That's really interesting question. See, shock. We experience shock because the state of mind is, how can this happen to me? Something has happened, and I feel, how can this happen to me? Yeah. First thing is acceptance. How do we overcome? How can I still enjoy life? That being my reality. See, that's a reality. Even if I'm shocked, it is not going to change the reality, right? So the first thing is asking yourself, how do I create that sense of acceptance? Is asking myself, when I'm in a state of shock, it means I say, how can this happen to me? Ask yourself, why can't it happen to you? Why can't it happen to me? Let's say something really unexpected happened. Now, shock will only come when I say, how can this happen to me? If I convince myself, why can't this happen to me? Today, there's so many things that are happening with so many people. Not so good, great thing to discuss about, but that's our reality, right? We can't really run away from all of that. So, asking yourself, in fact, I've come across so many such people who've gone through things that we can't even imagine in our life, much more difficult, I mean, really difficult situations. Yeah. But then asking yourself, why can't it happen to me? And convincing yourself that this is my current reality. Yeah. That situation, this is my state of mind, the awareness that I'm creating, and I can change my experience. Acceptance. Once you've accepted it, you will definitely not create that energy of resistance. Shock meaning I'm resisting. The more you resist something, that energy overpowers you. The more you accept it, you will see that resistance coming down. You will be able to accept and then pick up life from where life is at that point in time. So the way to overcome shock is acceptance. And then once you've accepted, that energy of acceptance will help you pick yourself up and you know bring yourself to that level of enjoying what life still has for you. There is something that life may have taken away from you, but there is a lot more that life still has for you. The more you accept what has gone, chances are that you will be able to value what you have. More you value what you have, you will start experiencing life in a beautiful way. I hope I have given some perspective on that. See, there are it's all about life, experiences, behaviors. So there are no right or wrong answers. These are some perspectives that I'm trying to share with you and just hoping that this may help you somewhere in your life. And I think, out of 59 of us here in the meeting today, if for some of you, even little experience of your life goes to the next level, I think this 1 hour that I've spent with you is all worth it. Okay, my life is, I mean, that purpose of my life is fulfilled if I think somewhere, some time in your life, what we've discussed today for 1 hour helps you. I think That's the only way I would want to define this 1 hour that I've spent with all of you. Yeah, so I hope this gives you a new perspective. The next question that we have is, I tried meditating since years but not worked. Is there any hope? Of course, hope for me to calm my agitated mind. I'll tell you, I've been one of the most I'm still very high on energy. Okay, so meditation does not bring your energy levels down. In fact, it gives you more energy to do more in life. Okay, so what it only does to you is it helps you. So one question that I can see is, can you still meditate? The way to do it is, don't sit for long hours. Okay, make it your lifestyle. In the sense, every moment, see, if I am thinking too much throughout the day, it's like, driving a vehicle at, let's say, 120, 130 kilometers per hour, and then suddenly you want to apply a brake. What will happen is, definitely either you will lose control of the vehicle, or you will end up dashing up somewhere, or something wrong will happen, or you will have a jerk, you'll have something of this sort, right? Because your vehicle is moving at a very high speed and you suddenly applied a brake. So the way to do is, the entire day, the first thing that you need to do is, even if you don't sit and meditate, okay, it's good to sit and meditate, but to start with, the best thing to do is, throughout the day, becoming mindful, having a sip of water, enjoying sip of water, having that, one bite, enjoying it, writing email, enjoying it, talking to people, enjoying it, being in that moment. So this is the way of slowing down your thought processes. And once you're able to do that, okay, start with 5 seconds. We will do that. Okay, we have another, we'll keep 3 minutes for last meditation, not more, just 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, start with 5 seconds. 5 seconds in 1 hour. What I do is, initially I used to put up a lot of things around me to remind me of mindfulness. I used to put up some images, some reminders, some notes, all of that. So while I'm doing something, oh, there is some, trigger kind of thing to help me remember, be more mindful. Yeah. So what I also do is, every 1 hour, there is this very soft, silent music which doesn't disturb my colleagues, people around, nobody. So it just plays for a, like an alarm plays every 1 hour. Let's say 5 o'clock, there's an alarm which will play a soft music. I'll sit 5 seconds, present moment, relax, then start my work. Yeah, start with 5 seconds, start with 10 seconds, start with 15 seconds, and then slowly increase the time. Don't push yourself into meditation and sitting for 5 minutes and saying, okay, I'll not think anything. Don't do that. Just create right thought, right experiences that will become a part of your personality. Yeah, so definitely, I feel if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Yeah, so that's my response on how do you start meditating. And if you are a little high on energy, how do you still are able to have great experiences in meditation? The last question that I can see is, how can we keep ourselves calm when surrounded by anger? What is it that one thing which may definitely help in anger management? Okay, if you're surrounded by anger, what I understand by this is, angry people. So see, uh, let's say if I have a very heavy luggage to pick up, okay, very very heavy luggage, what I would need to do is, I will have to increase my own muscle power, strength to pick it up. Yeah, the luggage is as it is. Let's say if I have to travel, I'm finding that luggage to be very heavy. Here comes the cab driver. He says, okay, ma'am, I'll help you. Just picks it up and puts it. Right? The luggage is as it is. It's not heavy or light. It's my capacity to handle which determines if it's heavy for me or light for me. So let's say if I'm saying that the people around who get upset, who get angry, the way to hand, or let's say if I say that I get angry, okay, I experience a lot of anger, the way to manage it is by creating calmness within. Okay, creating that stillness within. The more I have stillness within, it will work like, you know maybe a cool, something that cools down the, our energy plays a lot of role there. Actually, we are not even aware. Before we interact with people, our energy is already interact. If there is somebody who has a very high superior ego, and if I'm somebody with low superiority ego, what will happen is our energies already interact. Okay, our energies interact, they clash, and then that same behavior comes in action also. But if I'm somebody who is at a great self-esteem level, automatically I'll be able to manage their ego well. I mean their superiority ego. That's getting into a little more detail, but definitely what I would recommend and suggest to you is, it's not the weight that is heavy, it's about my capacity to pick up that weight. So if there is more, if you think that there are a lot of situations that you need to manage through, just work within yourself, create a lot of calmness, create a lot of strength for yourself in your life, and you will see you're able to manage whatever comes to you then. Yeah, so if there is anger outside or if there is anger within, the only way to overcome is create more calmness. Start telling yourself, I'm peaceful. Yeah, now you'll say, okay, Ritu, what you're saying is not right. If I'm getting angry, how do I say I'm a peaceful person? But our subconscious doesn't know the messaging that you're giving to the subconscious is right or wrong. If I keep saying I get angry, I'm an angry person, the subconscious says, Hanji, yes. Okay, so start saying that I am peaceful, I am happy. Instead of saying I'm stressed, I'm unhappy, start telling yourself, I'm happy, I'm peaceful. The words that you use have got energy. If you use right words in your life, you will see your life experiences changes. So today, let's leave that word stress, you know, outside our vocabulary from today, and let's experience new word, which is peace and calmness. Yeah, more you use these kind of words, more you think about these words, your life experiences will change, and that is what we will do for next 2 minutes. I hope I've been able to give you some new perspectives, some new learnings today. Let's move on to our last meditation experience for 2 minutes. Very, very relaxed once again, very comfortable. Once again, let the chair take your weight, and your body is very, very relaxed. Experience this one moment very deeply and intensely. Let us all create one thought. I am very, very relaxed. Just be with that one thought, that I'm very, very relaxed. Experience that one thought deeply and intensely. Continue to be with your breath for a couple of more seconds. Tell yourself this calmness that you've created for yourself today, you will continue to be in that experience throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the year. With little practice of mindfulness. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today and for taking the time. And it was definitely a very insightful session indeed. And thank you, everyone who participated and interacted along with us. We hope you learned something new. We hope you learned something that you can use in your daily life from today onwards. And we hope we were able to help you in some way. Please join us again tomorrow for another session. Our mental wellness week will continue till Friday, and we'll have new sessions for you every day from 4 to 5 p.m. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, ma'am. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. It was wonderful being with all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.